There she is, little Zoom lady. Joseph Carabas here. We're still listening to Celtic Legacy Collection, and I'm still loving it. I wanted to build on the last experiment, which was eating my own dog food, being able to recognize and critique and edit one's own work as if one were editing it for a magazine or something. This experiment is entitled "Recognizing One's Worth," because if you are like me, the lovely Susan, not if you're like me, the lovely Susan, but if you're like me, by the way, that was the lovely Susan. I'm blessed. If you're like me, you may have moments of self-doubt. As a matter of fact, if you're like me, you may have freaking gutters of self-doubt at times. Not only about my ability to write, but my ability to help others. So I wanted to share with you some things to be aware of. In my case, because I am the senior fiction editor of a journal, some comments when I send something back to an author because I think something's close but needs work. Your analysis hit the nail on the head when you mentioned the tone and mood aspects. They're working on it. They're going to evaluate and resubmit, because I always ask them to resubmit if they're willing to put the changes in. Another individual wrote that they were totally comfortable with the edits I suggested, those being, I did make some edits. Some were to solidify the authorial voice, some to cue the reader who owned the paragraph was speaking, some to tighten. It seemed you lost control of the narrative briefly, blah, blah, blah. And they had some things they had done in the short story which were pure updike. They were brilliant. Anyway, I attached the edits when I emailed them back and said, let me know if you want to do these, if you don't want to do these, if you're, whatever. And the author wrote back, they are fine with my edits. Yes, they strengthen the story. They were not aware that the story had those flaws. They knew there was something wrong, but not what. I showed that to them. They were happy with it. Publish it. I get a lot of response emails from people who write to Wilderness House, and also from people who I've worked with critiquing and analyzing their work. Should you have an interest, go look on one of the pages on my website. I'll include a link, because it has comments from all over the globe of people who have just been wowed by my ability to nail an issue on the head. I'm going to be very, very balanced here, because there's times when I have no clue what's wrong with something I've written. I know there's a problem with it. I'm not sure what. And, I'll give it to somebody to read, and they'll come back and I'll go, well, duh. That was so freaking obvious. I couldn't see it. But the gist of all this is, evidently, and I'm not being braggadocio here, I'm just saying, evidently I do know what I'm doing. It's good for me to know that every once in a while, because in my case, it is enlivening and humbling. I've helped somebody. I can think of no greater gift to both myself and to the person than to help them genuinely achieve better, to grow, to develop their craft, their storytelling ability, to help them to recognize where their weaknesses are and give them an indication of how to strengthen them, how to develop themselves as an author. It's a two-way gift, and I think those are the best kind. So Send me your stuff if you'd like it worked on, critiqued, analyzed. I can be a lot of fun. Or continue watching these. Thank you. Bye. Oh, now I have to go find the button again. God, where's the button? There it is. Bye-bye.